Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Well, my Banana Republic sweater was looking pretty shabby. I wore it for a solid year. So I had this Erica sweater in my eBay inventory. And last year I was trying to sell it for $14.98 on eBay. And I had it in mind to sell it at the swap meet for $3 or 2 for $5. So I thought, well, and this was a new sweater. This is an Erica sweater with tags, and it looks nice with my purple dial and Vico watch that I bought for $1. And then, so anyway, so I got my Erica sweater out, and so I actually bought this sweater for $1. And then these are the Kate Spade sunglasses. These are cute. I bought them for $1. Hi. So one of the things I was searching around trying to figure out was standard of living. I'm trying to protect my standard of living. In California, that is an issue. That is a big issue. Okay, the standard of living is the degree of wealth and material comfort available to a person or community. So, material comfort. I'm just trying to make sure I have food, water, and a clean, dry, warm place to sleep. I'm not trying to make $1 million or anything like that. I'm just trying to be comfortable, but not, I'm not worried about getting anywhere in life at this time in life. So when I looked up indicators of standard of living, they were the exact same indicators of, is a depression coming? The first thing is class disparity. So the poor people would be poor, and the rich people would make more money, and there would be a widening gap between the two. That also indicates a depression. I think it's because the poor people are just losing ground, and that is pretty easy to do when you can't work. They opened up, I was looking this up, it was the GDP. I was looking up, trying to look up the GDP, and in 2020 the GDP had an increase in the third quarter when they opened the economy up, but now it's closed back down in the fourth quarter. So, and I couldn't find anything on the fourth quarter yet. So when we see this widening gap, evidently that affects the poor people. And another thing is if you're working, I think a lot of people don't think about this. I know, when I was working all the time, I gave this little to no thought, and that probably wasn't too smart, but a minimum wage job is the poverty level. But how people get by is they have 2 full-time workers, and then that will bring you up to, I think it's the lower middle class. I'm not sure. Okay, the poverty rate in the USA, as it's hard to look this stuff up. If you go under a search and you go poverty rate in the US, you got to look all over. I think it's 12.4. So that means 12.5 people out of every 100 people is living at the poverty rate. And then supposedly, now this is not true, first of all. You've got everyone on a fixed income. You've got everyone on unemployment. You've got everyone on Social Security disability. You've got all the unemployed people. So you're coming up now to a lot higher than 12.4. So, that is not true, that 12.4%. I'd say it's more like 48%. Because I looked this up one day. Okay, and so they're admitting to 12.4% of people. And so, you figure, no, that's not true. Okay, quality and affordability of housing. That's something you look at. Okay, like in California, the houses are very, very expensive. I think a lot of people are leaving California because, there's other places that are probably a lot cheaper and nicer to live. And so California, Florida, and Louisiana have the highest poverty rate. I think they're admitting to, I'm not sure on that. I couldn't look it up. Quality and affordability of housing. I came to the conclusion it's in living here that it's better to pay a little bit. I've always been a little bit more, twice as much. I came to the conclusion that when I lock my door, I got to be safe inside of my house. I'm a little nervous about this transition of power that we're looking towards. If it's smooth, fine and dandy. If it's not, I want to be somewhere as safe as I can. Okay. Hours of work required to purchase necessities. Now, in my life, I worked just nonstop, and that will work. But if you can't find work, then you've got to do self-employment now, and you're probably going to have to work nonstop. I haven't done even too much work on eBay because I didn't want to go to the post office because I don't want to stand in line because I don't want to catch the COVID. And out here, we have one of the highest rates of the COVID. Out here, people think there is no COVID. Also, there's supposed to be a big protest. I think it's in Washington on the 6th of January. I think that's terribly dangerous for catching the COVID that doesn't exist. Okay. Gross domestic product. Is the gross domestic product GDP going up or is it going down? We had a good third quarter supposedly when they opened things back up, but now, so 3/4 of the year wasn't good and 1/4 of the year wasn't good. Now the GDP also is something that is going to indicate a depression. All these things, when these are down, when these are out of whack, indicate a depression. I think we're in a recession right now as we speak. When the recessions are severe and go on longer than 3 years, so we would go through 2 more years of this, it would be a depression. Then you can say, okay, this is a depression. Okay, affordable access to quality health care. Some places in the country have much better. Now, here in San Diego, the health care is pretty affordable. I mean, if you're really poor, you get free health care. Quality and availability of education. That's why it could be better not living in one of these places where you have these high incidences of disease, because that is going to impede your children from going to school. Even in San Diego, we have some areas in San Diego which have almost no COVID. So what's good is if needs be, I could drive up there and do everything I need to do. And you just look it up. You just look up your area and numbers of COVID. And then the last thing, degree of wealth and material comfort available to the person or the community. So you see some communities with almost no COVID and some a lot. Incidence of disease. We're not doing good on that one. Okay, now there's been 3 things that have really helped us out. The stimulus checks, the expanded SNAP. So they gave people more SNAP and made it easier for people to get SNAP. And those stimulus checks. And we're supposed to get another stimulus. I'm pretty sure there will be another stimulus check, and I would say it's probably going to be $600. Okay. And also they have extended the timelines of the SNAP, so you can get SNAP and unemployment longer, and non-working adults without children can get benefits, whereas before, I mean, the men would probably starved by now. And they had these they had like these loans, you could get loans for your business. Those have to be paid back. Loans on your house, put your mortgage payments at the end of their house, which they love to. You get to the point where you have your house paid for 10 years. Oh, they love nothing more than to reloan you. That's like a banker's dreams come true. More interest. Oh, that's a great deal. Anyway, so all this kind of stuff has happened. So, just to mention a couple of things again, if you buy your food marked down, you can get, if you had $200 SNAP, you could get essentially $400 worth of food instead of $200 just by buying markdowns, just by buying cheap food. I've been doing, and so let's say in a day, the only money you spend is maybe I buy a couple Cokes, maybe I buy a little gas, and then I go home and I eat a cheap meal. You can get by these. In my life, I'd be working with people, and that is what I would do. I would just work and come home and eat. And so, yeah, that is pretty dismal, but over time, you're going to be okay, no matter how I think things are going to be okay. Either Joe Biden was vice president during Obama. The Obama years were okay. They weren't super duper, not in I worked in shops that thought it was super duper. I'm thinking to myself, you dumb people, but they actually thought it was super duper, but I'm here to tell you it was not that super duper. But we did get by. So, I'm not going to get myself killed because Joe Biden is the president. We have to wait and see. I think we should be careful. Very careful. I think there's a lot of people that are ready to do something stupid. And the only ones that are going to hurt is themselves. Not going to hurt anybody else. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.